Part 2 of the Susan investigation with Vincent Alario, Jason Ragsdale. Carrying the watermelons, we're going to get hungry. That's for them. And Paul Ragsdale again. June 26, 2020.
Ovarian cancer. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer and used a
fishing out back there.
Was it this year?
Yes. Today. The consultation is free.
Fishing
If you pay $0
right at dusk running short line.
Never diagnosed with ovarian cancer and used
first it started with a couple little knocks out there and some springs up by the lake.
Right now for
we ain't think nothing about it. We just kept on going like always. Got up here, everybody came out there, and I was getting all the fish out of the boat. I had the weirdest feeling someone was watching me. All the hair on the back of my neck was standing up. I eased up and turned around and looked in this field. There's 3 of them. The one in the middle, guaranteed every bit of 9 foot. The other 2 was about 7, 7.5. I ain't never been so scared in my life. I left the fish on the ground for them and took out running.
And they were right here. Can we turn the TV down? Yeah. Is that okay?
I left. That night, after I ran in the house, I left and went to my brother's, and I stayed gone for about a week.
Wow. And that was in that little field right here?
Next door?
In the horse field.
Speaking of that, where's the horses? Are they still
back there?
They're back there.
I didn't even see them.
They're not in the first part. There's 3 sections to this field right here. They're in the back section.
Okay.
They're in the back left.
Oh, might be why we didn't see them last
Yeah,
night.
and I think 2's in the right section. I think he's got a mama and a colt in the right section. The other one's in the left.
Now, before you run off, right after we moved in here, back in 2007, it was about this time of the year. It was warming up to where the alligators were coming out from their hibernation. But me and my husband was down there on the boat dock and we was fishing. And it was of the evening time, about this time of the evening. And we're fishing. I hear that old white bird that I call a water chicken. It was squawking. The day before we seen an alligator get one, so I made a remark and I said, oh, I guess an alligator's getting him another water chicken. And I no sooner said it than we heard roar and go across. It went across the tree lines. And I'm looking around. I asked my husband, I said, what was that? He said, a panther. I said, oh, hell no. That was manly. Panther sounds like a female.
Yeah.
That was manly.
Yeah, like a female.
I come home, I told the kids, I said, y'all be careful out there. I don't know what I heard, but something big out there. I know it was Bigfoot. Y'all staying away from the woods. That one there is out there in that treetop.
Is that the one across the street?
No, this
right
burnt tree right there in the front yard.
It used to be a big old pine tree.
Okay.
He was way up in there, building him a clubhouse.
Oh, you were? Okay.
He was.
Yeah, okay.
I'm peeping out the window watching him because I'm scared he's going to fall. About that time I see him drop and his feet are running in midair. And he did not stop until he hit the door. Tell him what you heard.
I know I was up there and I heard a loud ass roar and I couldn't tell which way it came from. It sounded like it was all the way around.
All the way around.
And then me and him and his little friend were out there in the front yard. A couple of years later, building a fire pit. And we stopped to take a break, and I was noticing a plane was going by real low. And I made a remark about it, and about that time we heard the wolf howl, and I looked up and there's 4 of them. They're right on our heels. Well, he runs and he outruns us. He gets the gun, goes out the door, and I come running in. Well, he left that night, and his friend didn't want to go home, so I told him he could go on and stay, because I have to be raised. And I had her in the bedroom with me. We was in this bedroom. We're laying in the bed, and he's on the floor at the foot of the bed. His head's at the air conditioner in the window. We're laying there, and we're just talking, and we could hear howling. We're going, did y'all hear that, you know? And
Like Bigfoot howling? Or,
yeah,
okay.
Bigfoot howling. Well, at first we didn't know really what it was. So, and I said, what was that? And she going, I don't know, Aunt Susan. I said, well, I don't know what that was. That don't sound like a coyote, and it don't sound like a wolf. What is that? About that time, something hit that air conditioner, and when I mean hit it, they literally picked it up and throwed it inside the window. It landed from me to the end of that thing there, and near about landed on the poor kid's head. Me and her took out running and left him, locked herself in the bathroom. There's no windows in there. How we getting out? We finally got our bravery up and come back out, and in the bottom of my air conditioner is a big old dent.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, well, okay. We put it back in the window. Well, needless to say, we didn't sleep that night.
Not that night, huh?
And then from there, it just kept, every night, bam, something hit the house. Bam, something hit the house. I'm thinking, well, okay. Somebody's messing with me. Somebody's trying to scare me. So my husband, he was working 7 days gone, 7 days home. Well, then he got sick with cancer, and I fixed him up a little TV room and from the bedroom, and he's sitting in there watching TV, and he says, Did you hear that? I said, no, I didn't hear that. He said, I heard something. I said, well, go look. Well, about that time I laid down and I heard, bam! And it was high, real high, in between the 2 windows, but it was high. And I thought, I raised up and I looked at him. I said, that wasn't me. He said, well, you heard it. I said, yeah, I heard it. I heard it. Well, then I went out there the next morning. I'm thinking, okay, that had to leave footprints. I'm going to look. I'm going to see if it was a rock, a hand, if I have a dent in my house or what. Get out there and I got 2 handprints. Perfect.
Those are the ones that were on the window, right?
That's the ones around the window.
The
And
first
they were
ones.
right there where I normally sit in my chair, but it's more like looking at him. And I'm assuming that they were trying to peep in the window to see what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. Checking on him.
Yeah. And I thought, dang gum, I got handprints, no footprints. So that's when we started going through the woods real good. And it got to where my oldest son, he went to the Indian burial ground. And it seemed like every time he goes to that Indian burial ground, they follow him back. And they torment him on the way back, to the point that he wants to run.
Is that your oldest son?
That's my youngest.
Youngest son, okay.
Yeah.
Has he been there too?
Yeah, he's been there too, and he won't go back.
Oh, really?
He'll show you on the map where it's at, but he won't go back. But then we started finding those huts the little structures. And so then we started walking down the driveway to the lake and coming back. And then that one night we walked through there and they growled at us, literally growled at us every step we took. You'd hear them take a step, we'd take a step, you'd hear them take a step. We stopped, they stopped. And you'd hear them growl. And that was like it wasn't a bear. I know what a bear growls like. And then they'd shake a tree. Well, let's back up. We're making them mad. Let's back up. So we'd back up. They'd quit, but they'd follow us the whole way. That night that happened, the next night, I swear to God, I heard a baby cry out there. It was in between like a chimpanzee and a baby cry.
Is that what you were thinking?
I'm thinking the female had a baby. And from there, you could hear at night, about dusk dark, you'd hear, and it sounds just like in between a newborn baby crying and a chimpanzee. And then, as that went on, my husband started putting up cameras. We started putting cameras up. Because they're coming up close to the house. We done pissed them off apparently, because they're hitting our house. They're peeping in the window, so it's time to put cameras up. Well, they was out there on that side of the house, towards the woods, and I'm sitting in there watching TV, and about the time I heard, doom, 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 from that end to that end. I thought, well, I guess he's putting Devin up on the roof. And then I heard, like they took out running. So it wasn't long they come in. I said, well, Devin, what happened? You getting a red walt's nest? He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, I heard you running across the roof. He said, Mama, that wasn't me on the roof. I said, something was on my roof. Y'all didn't see nothing? Seriously, y'all did not see nothing. They said they didn't see nothing, but something was up on the roof.
It had been that little guy or girl.
So I'm thinking it was Junior, that my husband's called Junior. He's sitting out there. We just got back from his chemo, and he's don't sit outside for a little bit. And I opened up the door, and he kept motioning for me. I said, what? And he says, right over there. And I'm looking. He says, you don't see it? I said, I don't see nothing. He says, I swear, it was Junior. I said, well, how do you know it was Junior? He was orange looking, orangish brown looking. I thought, oh,
Is that the one across the street?
That's the one across the street.
The tree peeker?
The tree peeker. My husband named him Junior, and we think Junior is the one that comes up to the house. And now the little one, if my calculations is right, the little one, it was born last year, so that little one should be acting like a little 3-year-old, maybe a 4-year-old.
Mischievous as hell.
Yes. And I think that's what's coming up at the back there. Because, like I said, we got the cameras, but they're not the night vision.
Right. You got night vision now.
We got night vision now. And my husband says, I want you to look back on the camera. I swore I seen something. I looked and I never did see nothing. But now there's a trail out through there. I hung my apples out there. They got my apples. But there's another trail out through there. And I'm thinking the baby's coming up because we've been finding the little bitty, like a kid, little 4-year-old, 3-year-old footprints. The little ones.
It's like what we found down there by
Yes.
the creek last month?
Yep. The little footprints. So I'm thinking that the baby is coming up now.
And is it like out of the way of the cameras?
Yes.
Okay. Out of the way of the night vision ones?
Yes.
So they're seeing that IR light.
They're seeing the IR. We've put trail cams up out there with the red IR. But all they're doing there is coming up behind it and twisting it from the feeding spot. We did catch at one point like a white, to me it looked like a ghost-like figure, but it was a head shape. But it was just like the back of the head. You couldn't see the face.
Right.
So I'm thinking, well, that didn't work. But we've been putting treats up. and the treats are coming up missing. My baskets are getting tore down.
Tons of plastic bags with teeth marks in
Tons of them. They left me a pig.
them. Yeah.
I still don't know where that pig come from. My grandchildren's never had the pigs, the farm animals, so I don't know where that come from. It wasn't there for, how long have we had the gifting basket there? We've had the gifting basket there for 2 years now, I think. Yeah, 2 years. And in 2 years, that pig has not been there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, bam, the pig's there. But I've left marbles, I've left feathers, and each time either 2 marbles are gone, 1 marble's gone, but the feather's always gone. I ain't figured out the feather yet.
And they give a lot of feathers too. You hear about that. So. Feathers as presents.
I know there's 1 marble on the ground over there.
Yeah.
So,
They always try to leave me a marble for some reason. They'll leave it.
Well, last night, right before the gifting site, I mean, it's right on the trail coming back. There's the triangle place there.
Yeah.
None of us saw walking down there. How did people miss a triangle right on the trail?
Yeah.
But on the way back, and it's dark.
Well,
and we
they're
see
bad
it.
about following you. Like that night we took the granddaughter, and she was 8. She wanted to walk. No, she's 9. She wanted to walk with us, so we, there was like 4 adults, so we took her. And we walked all back through there, and we got in that right past the gifting spot. And we heard what we at first thought was wolves. But then they started circling and howling. But it wasn't a wolf howl, and it wasn't a coyote howl. And then they kept, they were surrounding us, and at first I thought, well, I'm fixing to put this baby up the tree if it's a wolf, But then we got it made another noise, and my husband looked at me and said, it's the family. I said, well, there ain't no sense in putting the baby up in the tree. We got to get out of here, and we had to come out a whole different way to get out of there because they were surrounding us with the grandchild.
Wow.
They are very
Something about
interested in
kids.
them kids.
And your husband, he saw out in the field.
Yep,
over
he
there.
has saw the dad, what we call the daddy. He's saying the mama carrying the baby, so we know she had a baby. And he has seen Junior.
And it was all at once.
All at once. And they crossed the field.
And I remember him saying that the dad was about 8 foot tall. He said.
He says about 8, 8.5,
8 and a
maybe
half.
9.
It's a big boy.
His footprint is like that. My husband's foot is a size 12, and it's this much longer than my husband's foot. And it's much wider.
So I wish I had casted that 3-toed print last time I was here.
See, the screen, we're worried because we have found the 3-toe print in several locations out there. And now he's worried that it's Dogman. And that might have been what they were fighting, who was fighting out there that day. On what day was that? February the 15th.
That's a whole nother subject there. I don't know.
He has a baby, or the baby's around, they're more aggressive. Junior, he likes playing hide and seek with you. And he will throw things at you, because now my husband has been out there fishing where they're fishing at right now, and has had limbs thrown at him. He has had stomping in the water. He has had sound like, he said, being charged through the water.
They went fishing back there right now?
Yeah, they drove down the driveway.
Well, I hope they hear something. Maybe it'll get them stirred up back there.
Well, I'm thinking they was following y'all last night. Thought y'all was down there.
No, not you.
And they were- But yeah, everybody has seen one. Except for me.
So, who lives at this dirt road, I guess?
My
that
dad,
goes-
my stepdad, and my mom.
The house all the way in the back? That's where y'all talking about going fishing behind there?
And then y'all cruise this water line going this
Yep.
way?
Then you cruise, yeah, we stay pretty much in our area through here, and fish through there. And if you can come up through the lake, and you'll come up pretty much on that opening that I sent y'all to last night. Now, if you keep going further down, there's that big old white plantation house down there, and out in between that and the opening and the plantation house is the Indian burial ground. He's been to it
Yeah.
several times, but he won't go back.
I wonder if you'd be able to
Big fence that goes around it.
We
It's got
don't
tombstones in it.
have-
It's old graveyard from 1800s.
Donkeys.
And then
Yeah,
We have horses.
We heard the number all last time we were out.
Yes.
About
Wait till you hear the cow.
from
It's not really a
There's
moo, it's a
There's
moo
that
growl.
one back there.
Had the camera.
I don't know how growed up it's
cameras
been,
and
because I ain't been
stuff
back in
there.
them woods in a while.
It's been 2 years since he's been back to the
I'll
Go
go
with us
burial
tonight?
ground.
Come walk back there with us tonight?
I'll go in the woods night time. You can't pay me enough.
He was back there that one day, that one night, and he texted me. He said, "Bring me the gun." I said, "You come and get it." He said, "Mama, something's back here." I says, "Just come get the daggum gun." So he come in there, he hurried up and got in there, and then he went back, and then
The property I was talking about,
that's
the graveyard?
when y'all come up and see the handprint, the other handprint. So apparently they're peeping on him.
Where's the two-story house? Yes, it's zoom in. Yeah, it's right there on the property. It's right
Yeah.
through here.
How far do you think that is?
No, this first one is at the beginning of the road. It's you can see it whenever
I mean, the one back there on that
back there. That's
Oh, it's a good ways.
it's a good ways back there.
Yeah.
And they will follow you.
I won't go again.
When you get too close to it, you'll know it because they'll start hitting things and.
You remember the trail, the wrong trail we took? And turned around?
Yeah.
You hear 3 knocks in the.
Keep
We should have
walking.
stayed on it.
Yeah, you hear
That
You
to
hear
the
3
end.
knocks in a
you hear
row.
3 knocks in a row. You
I'll
get
go no
gone.
further. You're gonna piss them off.
You better leave.
They will throw a
Turn
tree at
I'd
you.
be like on Paul where he got that tree.
They will throw a
You were there,
tree at
weren't
you.
What?
When Paul got that big old tree thrown at him and a big bag of cement.
Yeah, they will throw trees at you. They ain't messed up about it.
If you hear 3 knocks in a row, that's their warning.
I gotta get you to tell me about. We won't use his name since we're recording.
Oh.
Because I didn't get that on recording at all. I don't think last time. So
Okay, when all of this started and we couldn't, we knew it was Bigfoot. We knew it, but we didn't have nobody to help us try to show us how to look for things and what have you. So I contacted a friend, which he put us in contact with the other.
the one we will not mention.
Yes. And he come out. Big plans. We walked them all through there, showed them everything. They had big plans. They put a tent up out there. He was going to spend the night out there. We dropped him off. Everybody left. He had cameras, audio, everything. And it wasn't an hour later, he's calling to come and get him.
Well, what time do you think it was you went out there?
Probably about 11 o'clock.
Okay. And did he buy the tent? Did he bring his own tent? Or was that y'all's tent?
No, that was a friend of ours tent that they just left out
By
there.
himself? Or he had
Huh?
somebody
He
with him?
left we left him there by himself. He was gonna do a solo. So we told him that was fine. We didn't care. Just, he needed us. We even put a little text so he could shine a flashlight and find his way out.
I'm glad those were still there, by the way.
So he calls, he's in a panic, we gotta go get him. He said he's laying there and he hears the walking around, the grunting, and all of a sudden the tent comes down, goes up. Tent comes down again, he says, "Hey, somebody's in here." It goes up and then it bam, like that, and that was it, he was gone. He was gone.
You know who we're talking about.
So I thought, well, okay. So they took him to a different location. They couldn't figure his camera out. Well then, a few months later, he said he wanted to come back because it was too hot. That was one of his excuses. It was too hot.
After he had already told y'all what happened.
Yes. So then he come back after it cooled off. It was cool at night. They were gonna stay out there he was gonna stay out there in the tent again. And him and my friend, they went out there and both of them within 2 hours were out of the woods.
Ask Elena what I did to her last
And that was here also?
That was here also. I said, well, what is it out there? And my friend is the one that says, I think you got dog man. But I know they're out there, they disappear at times, and they're following my stepdad and my stepbrother. They were killing the hogs because they got bad. And so they had an every bit of a 500-pound wild boar. They shot in the field out there. They drug it to the barn and left it. You can see the drag mark where they drug it in on their four-wheelers. They went back the next night, or the next day, no, 2 days later. They went back 2 days later. The thing's gone. It's gone. There's no drag marks There's no nothing.
So it was picked up,
It had to be picked up. That's the only way it could get got out.
especially with drag marks too. So.
You can't tell me an eagle picked it up. And
Eagles,
if a
squirrels.
coyote or a wolf was to pick it up, or the cougar, or the
Still
panther,
would have dragged it.
it would have drug it. Even if a bear would have picked it up. And we did have, the first year we moved here, my stepdad, they put trail cams up at a deer feeder. And then I wished I could locate that picture. But they sent a picture up here and said, keep the kids out of the woods. We got a bear in the woods. I kept looking, I said, Ray, that don't look like a daggum bear.
Who got a picture of it?
My stepdad.
Yeah.
And he swears up and down it's a bear. I said, I don't think that's a bear. It's hanging on, it was hanging on a limb with one arm, and his legs were just stretched there.
With one arm?
One arm, one hand hanging onto a limb.
I don't know if I've seen that picture.
Hanging
Hanging,
off the ground.
just hanging up there.
Not a bear.
But, and it was long. You could tell it was a long figure, but I don't think it was a bear. And I've been asking my stepdad if he could find that picture
A
for me.
bear doesn't have the hand to
No,
grab
yeah.
and hang.
It's got a paw and he ain't
Yeah.
got a...
But it was hanging from one hand. There wasn't no limbs for it to be standing on down here.
Just hanging.
It was just hanging up there. And
Yeah, I would love
but
to
the
see
camera was so far away that you couldn't get a visual look. You could just see a dark mass hanging.
You just tell something was hanging in the tree.
You could tell something was hanging. You could make out the arm like this, hanging. I'm thinking, that's not a bear. But I have seen a mama bear and two cubs. Just like I've seen the cougar, and I've seen, my husband met the panther in the front yard one night.
Yeah, the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's met him in the front yard. I've met the wolves. We've
Oh,
got
but for you
coyotes.
folks listening, Black Panthers don't exist either.
Yeah, they do exist. They need to come out here. But yeah, the mighty one could not stay in the woods twice. It was twice he could not
At the
stay in
same
the
time,
woods.
he had somebody with him. That's crazy. And I noticed on the tent that he had cut
You can see
slits
that.
in the
Yeah.
screen because thermals won't look through the screen at all, or FLIR. So we saw that last night.
Oh yeah, and if you notice, they put it under the Widowmaker.
Yeah, we didn't think about that.
Yep. And I told them they were crazy. I said, why did y'all put that there? Well, you got the vision of all four ins and outs, the trails, the game trails. I said, yeah, but did
Could have
y'all
picked a
look,
better spot than that though.
did you not look overhead of you? The wind blew just right, that thing's coming down, it could come down at any point in time. The ground could shift and it would come down.
And
on
then that
top of
tent's
you.
definitely coming down.
Yeah, and they've just left it there. We thought about moving it and to a different location and try and stand out there or something. I'm
What's
too
in the
scared.
tent? Is there any,
I don't know. I ain't never opened it.
we didn't look either.
I've never opened it, so I don't know. All I know is there's a tent
definitely a
there.
mattress of some
It looks
kind
like an
leaning
air
against one
mattress.
wall,
Yeah.
like a cot or whatever. I don't know.
Because I mean, they left everything.
He got scared. He literally got scared. He went in with a big old camera, like a movie production camera,
It might be still in there.
Okay, check.
and some kind of FLIR green thing.
That's
And-
clear.
And
Might
then
be
he had,
$10,000 equipment inside there.
Absolutely.
and he didn't even stay. He stayed an hour and he was gone.
That is not long.
No, thinking, well, you didn't even have time to see nothing out there yet. But he had, I promised, he could get the answers. He could get video proof.
And then he came back with, it was too hot.
It was too hot first, and then the second time,
Now, why did they say they left the second time?
they really ain't said, except that they had a call to go to a different location
In the middle of the night?
in the middle of the night. I don't know what location that would be.
How long were they there the second time?
The second time they might have been there maybe 2 hours, maybe, give or take.
Now, how do you leave a hot spot when you left because you got scared for a call? And neither one of them stayed.
Neither one of them stayed.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking, okay, when I was first asked, I'm thinking, hey, I might get an answer.
Yeah.
I might literally get a picture. That's all I'm interested in. I want a cast foot and I want a picture. I don't care about nothing else. I just want the little family I have. I don't think they would hurt me.
No.
I really don't.
No.
I'm more scared.
And you're just fine. So.
I'm more scared of the cougar, the panther, and the wolves. I'm terrified of the wolves.
Yeah, I wouldn't let that team on my property either.
No. That's why I'm real fussy about who comes on the property, how many comes, because I know if you get more than 4 or about 5 people, then they
That's too
start
much.
getting irritated. They get irritated bad.
Do everything I can to get you a picture of one. I don't think it's going to happen in the summertime. But,
No, you're gonna. It's the first of fall. The first of fall. They start getting rambunctious. The first of spring, they're getting rambunctious, and then they start stealing the eggs out of the bird's nest. Yeah. But they like playing on them old cars out and old boats out there.
yeah, you said you saw the ice shine on top of that
Yeah,
boat.
on that big boat out there out there by Mama's. And there's no way a deer's getting up on that boat. That's one of them big old boats. And I just don't see a deer jumping up there on that boat. And the eyes were too far
Too far
apart
apart.
for coon.
Or deer for that fact.
Yeah, because they were like this. And when we were up on the hill, and so they were like this, so I can just imagine.
Is that the same night they were like stomping and stuff?
Yeah,
on
that's the
trail?
same night they were stomping and throwing things at us and shaking that tree.
That's interesting. Have you heard them slap against anything? Or?
Not that I can recall.
No, she's just now getting into it.
Yeah.
She was there the other night, the air conditioner come through.
Oh, you were there that night?
Yeah.
Yeah. That scare you?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. You're like, nope, I'm out. And you can see no reasonable explanation that would just come crashing through the window, right? So,
We've never had one come through the window before, and we haven't had one come through the window since.
and the fact that it was dented on the bottom,
Yeah.
that really helps.
But all I could think of, at first, when it first happened, my brain was still clicking about the wolves chasing me. So I'm thinking, because I have had, when I lived in Cotton Valley, my kids were playing in their bedroom, and we had them old-timey trailer windows that rolled out.
Oh, yeah.
We had it cracked. I mean, it was cracked about like that. My kids were playing, and a panther tried jumping through the window in on them. And that's all we seen was the black claws.
Wow.
And my husband, my ex-husband now, but my husband at the time, he heard it scream. And it scared him so bad, he was changing a flat outside that he come in the house, in the middle of the house, with the spare tire, the jack, everything. The tire too, everything.
You put it down.
He
you
was
just ran.
scared, he just ran. And kids were running this way, and I'm trying to go down the highway, and that's when I seen the claws. And so
Wow.
when the air conditioner come in, all I could think of,
Panther.
no, did one of the wolves try to jump through that little bitty space on each side, and hit the air conditioner? But then I'm thinking, that would have knocked that wolf out, hitting that hard to dent it and knock it inside my trailer.
It's kind of high up, too.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
all the weight of the air conditioner's hanging outside.
Yeah, it's all hanging out the back.
I mean, if anything, it would if it would just have fallen naturally, it would have fallen on the ground outside,
Yeah.
not inside.
No, this
Probably
come
broke the window.
inside. It, like I said, it picked it up and went boom. I'm going. And it landed. It landed. Me and her couldn't get out of that bed quick enough.
I'd have jumped too, I'm not gonna lie.
That scared me so bad. I think I cried that night. It scared me so bad. And I normally don't get scared like that, but that scared me.
Now, I know you said that your mom and your stepdad have had things hit the trailer.
They've had things hit the trailer, but they don't
think it's
believe
y'all.
in it. They think it's me.
You're trying to tell them we're not messing with you.
But my mama now's got dementia, so,
Yeah.
you know, but she used to tell me all the time,
Well, I'd
was
be
that you
surprised.
down here knocking on my trailer? No,
I wouldn't be surprised if they keep an eye on them down there.
I think they do. I think they do. And my stepbrother, now he's got night vision he put up around his trailer too. He said, because you won't believe the big things that's out there, but he won't admit what's out there.
How far does he live from here?
Just right there.
Oh, he lives right over here too?
Uh-huh.
So he won't admit to
He
it,
won't admit to nothing.
but he knows there's something out
He
there.
says there's something big. He said, you wouldn't be surprised at the big things out there.
What does he think when you tell him what you think? You know?
He just kind of puts his head down and wanders
Just
off.
doesn't want to admit it.
He won't.
No.
He will not even.
Or some
talk
people just don't
about
like to talk about it.
Yeah, he won't talk about it. I think he thinks that if you don't talk about it, it don't exist.
Yeah, out of mind, out of sight.
Yeah.
I get it. Some people are like that, and they just shut down. So that's their way of dealing with things.
Yeah.
You know. Then there's people like us that want to get up close and personal.
Yeah. Well,
One thing at a time.
the baby's staying up, I think, in the trees mostly, unless it's coming around getting the treats. The mama, I think she stays close to that baby, but Junior, he's gonna be the one that you catch. And eventually you'll catch the baby because I say it's a she. She's gonna come around to be Junior's size.
Oh,
and
yeah.
mischief like Junior. I know she had a baby because I heard it. I heard that baby cry.
and then it solidifies it when your husband saw a little baby,
Yeah.
you know. And how long after when you heard that sound did your husband see the baby in the field with the family?
Probably about 6 months.
Oh, perfect.
Probably a good 6 months.
Okay, well, yeah, they definitely ain't been touched. That's the one she hauled out and put a string through it. See here? This is where we get some good prints. Oh, another flower, huh?
Another flower.
One behind you too.
These plants are nowhere around, but yet there's flowers everywhere.
Yep. Might have been one right here, but it's been rained on.
There's another one over here.
Toe, toe, toe. You got another one there?
My glasses. Looks like this right here might be an old one. But possibly.
Yeah.
This is where we saw the one going one way and one going the other. And right behind you. Turn around and look right here. That might be that baby. Maybe. Looks like there's some toes. Looks like there's some toes right here. I'm gonna move that just a little. I don't want to contaminate it. Those look like toe marks to me. Coming from this side.
Is this where I gift that?
No, it's on down. But this is where she finds a ton of baby tracks.
Yeah, this might be digging.
One coming this way. They were like this. Right here last time.
I think this might be digging out because there's all this dirt.
Yeah. It could be. Well, I'm over here mouthing. I hope you may have caught it on camera.
I just turned it on.
Okay. Thank you.
Because that is the tent that a famous investigator from the TV series tried to stay in, but couldn't. From the tent being pushed down on him constantly. This is the gifting area. This trail right here heads to Susan's mom's place back there. And they've been wild out on this trail back there. And they have white ice on up on top of the abandoned boat back there. At the same time. So.
How far back in there?
I'd say probably about 40 yards, 50 yards until you start to get to real property. Her bag's out.
Her bag's down.
And that's out.
Yep.
Let's check this out.
Let's check them out.
You
A lot.
want to try to open it up? See if we can find those tooth marks in there.
Like that? Maybe?
Yeah, like here.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can zoom in.
Hang on.
Try to zoom in here. Yeah.
You can see bite marks here.
Mm-hmm.
Right here.
Up here maybe.
Chewed up pretty good.
Need to see her other bags too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what was in the bags?
Apples?
Oh.
I remember that.
Apples, yeah. I'm gonna tape these up.
What are we doing with the watermelon?
I'm gonna stick it right here somewhere.
This whole basket's been torn down off the handle.
Is this next question is you want to cut it open or?
I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, that has been torn off of there. That was holding this basket. I don't think she said it was torn down yet. They usually just sits here and they just take out of it. But, yeah. And actually, they didn't even tear it down. They kind of took it off of the hooks because these aren't bent. The hooks are not bent. Hard to see any prints in this stuff though. Way too much ground clutter. This is the track we're talking about right here. Are you taping the watermelon to the tree too, or what are you doing with that one?
I might. Yeah. I'm gonna do this one tight like I did, and then I'm gonna run some backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to see that here tomorrow.
Sounded like a guitar string.
And like I said, I super glued this lid on here. So we'll see how that works out for them.
And you know there wasn't no loading that took tape off last time because it would have been chewed right through.
Right.
I know it wasn't chewed, it was pulled off.
It was pulled. You might see this purple and go, oh, the purple.
That Kool-Aid,
Oh,
yeah.
that purple down here.
She said they ain't been up here in a good week. It looks like they're back up here again.
Yep.
So was there 2 bags?
Yeah, saw one up in the woods.
Oh, shit. Is this the one you just shot?
Saw something vanilla.
You see the teeth marks a little bit better than this one on the side right here.
Yeah.
So far not as good as that first one we found, but they're there.
Boo-boo. Alright, all of this is backwards. Every bit of it.
Nice.
Alright.
Got backwards tape on both of them already?
Just that one.
Just that one.
Like this one. Alright.
Stick your side out.
Yes.
And for DNA, we'll get the ones that she's collected.
Yeah, a little piece of hair there. Kind of a blonde color.
Where at?
Uh-huh.
Turn around, show the camera.
Oh yeah, okay. I really want to see the one she got because it was a
Yeah,
long,
they were long
almost
hair,
translucent brown hair on there.
More right there.
Look at all that hair.
That's brown.
Look at that one right there.
No, that's part of the tape.
That's part of the tape.
Mhm.
Look at that one though.
Yeah, those two right there are regular.
Have
Regular.
those sticks been laying in those branches long? 1, 2, 3, 4. Has that been like that?
I hadn't noticed that. Yep. Yep.
I hadn't noticed it either. I don't see where it would have came from. There's one there.
One, look.
Yeah.
Start from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6.
There's another one way up there.
7. Look, something's just been throwing them up in there. Seeing if they'll stick, you know.
One there. It's going this way. Other one's hard to see. It's up there. Another one here. And one down here. Another one here. Yeah, that's a good spot.
Yeah. I think that'll work well. This branch is broke too.
Yeah, that one's broke off right there.
That one up there is broke.
Yep.
Now all that's sticky. That side out. Now, what we're going to do with this milk?
I say put it on a different tree.
Did you leave the lids on?
Yes. Yeah. This one's super glued on. It can piss them off.
Leave some skid behind.
I wonder if they're coming from that direction. Is this the trail she's talking about?
She said at the gifting go right. So I think that is.
That's the one I went down when we were here. I went to a fence, so I guess you got to go along that fence. We haven't been over there, so.
I'm going to put a camera and put my plot camera back out. And I had put it in those sticks over there, up against that tree sitting there. And I'm going to put my camera in the same spot.
Last time Susan was left a gift here of the little pig that you saw in part one. Now we got this little dinosaur. We'll have to find out if she put it here or not. And I'm pretty sure that football was here for them. And it would have had to have flown off this tree over to the right, every one of them. So.
Yeah, and it's just that one week that they're tossed in there.
Yeah. No, straight up and down.
Yeah.
This is a 30-second plot camera. It takes a picture every 30 seconds, regardless if there's anything in front of it or not. And we'll see what happens.
Hold on.
Fresh snap.
There it is. Yeah, I got a pile up of fresh snaps.
Pile of sticks here. That does nothing. Looks nothing like anywhere else around us. The fresh snap, 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 snap.
And this is exactly what I found. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago in the big thicket. It was right up against the tree.
Right up against the big
But
tree.
he had already stacked them all in a teepee style.
Huh.
And this is either a pulled out tree right here, or they've been digging. They've been digging.
Looks like maybe in the deer track right here. Stepped off in there.
This definitely could be the juvenile plan. What sucks is this ground, man. You can't get tracks off of it.
Can't get, Well, that's just weird, all them.
Yeah, it is.
Man, that pushed up there and all them little snaps and breaking it, getting it ready for production.
So I was just about to leave this last little area that I just showed you with all the breaks and bends, stacked logs, possible glyphs. And I saw this little guy. It's only the second time I found one small like this.
Take another look right around here. I screamed like little girls till I ran into some spiders. Got this, huh? Yeah, but these are kind of placed.
Yeah.
Almost like a star. But
Does.
I'm looking at that wood over there. And the over there. Nope. Nothing. Like to hear another vocal. Of course, everything on this side is, I'm sure, already knows we're here.
Right. Jason, is there a trail that runs down that fence?
Yeah, you can see it used to be a road here. Old.
Yeah.
So I gotta change the battery.
Are you over there talking to yourself?
So you thought you heard her talking?
I thought you were talking.
Did you hear it too?
Talk to me, maybe come back to the boat.
So this one's really pushed down. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, something different than crossing there.
Got hear that? Got hear that? Got hear that?